Good afternoon, Professor Strohacker. My name is Gavin Kubicka, and I did my book on Unfair, the New Science of Criminal Justice. So, for a little bit of introduction, the book is obviously named Unfair, the New Science of Criminal Justice, and it is by Adam Benferrado. The focus of this book is to show how unconscious biases and flawed legal processes impact criminal justice in an entirety. He uses a structure of four main sections, each having a different number of chapters in each section. The first section is investigation, and then adjudication, punishment, and reform. For his key thesis, it's that injustice is not always about corruption. Often it's about flawed human perception, and he kind of describes this to us by using the study of psychology, neuroscience, and especially legal analysis because he used to be a legal professional. He also emphasizes unconscious bias and outdated practices. So for part one, which is the investigation, he focuses on the victims, the detectives, and the suspects. For the victims, he focuses on jury sympathy influenced by race, class, and gender, which is basically when the jury says, oh, well, this person is more likely to be innocent than this person because of their race, class, or gender. The detectives, he says that interrogation methods can cause false confessions, especially in minors and mentally ill. So if you are a minor or mentally ill person, you could be very easily persuaded into saying you did something you didn't actually do. And then the third is suspects, and he talks about how bias and stereotypes shape initial judgment. So for part two, adjudication, he talks about lawyers, juries, eyewitnesses, experts, and judges. Lawyers, about how they focus on winning over the actual truth of their argument. Juries are swayed by emotion and prejudice more than facts. Eyewitnesses, where their memory is unreliable, and stress and suggestion could easily distort it. Experts, where forensic evidence is accepted without any scrutiny whatsoever, so nobody tries to stop them or say that they cannot do that. Um, and judges are very easily influenced by mood, personal bias, although they are mostly the neutral ground of this. So for part three, he did punishment. And the two things that he did here were public opinion, which is driven by emotion, media, and politics, and prison, which is he talks about dehumanization in the prison and how they fail to rehabilitate any struggling inmates, any addicted inmates of past drugs, and in prisons they also target poor people and minorities. For part four, it was reform, and he talked about the barriers to reform certain things, like the systemic resistance and comfort with the status quo. And the suggestions that he has for reformation are better police training, interrogation reforming, so that there is no more pushing people to have false confessions, and redesigned courtrooms. For the strengths of this book, in my opinion, I think that he does a very good job explaining complex psychological ideas clearly. Even though he was a lawyer, he seems to have a very good understanding of all of these psychological ideas. He effectively uses case studies like the Central Park jogger case that he think he said in chapters two, where five people were killed, and some eyewitness said that uh, the Central Park jogger had killed all five of them. And then the powerful critique of commonly accepted practices, just like false confessions, and mass incarceration. Some of the weaknesses of the book that I realized, though, are he overemphasizes science as a root cause instead of focusing, and there's less focus on race, class systems. And he also says that some reform suggestions feel idealistic or vague. The course connections are to this class is the interrogation and false connections. He matches content from a lot of chapter 8 with the Miranda rights and interrogation limits. The eyewitness testimony he relates to our pretrial ID procedures, and courtroom actors he connects to discretion and plea bargaining from chapter 10. And sentencing and public role, he reflects on retribution versus rehabilitation, which we talk a lot about in chapter 11. So, in conclusion, Ben Ferraro reframes justice, not just who is biased, but how systems support bias. He advocates evidence-based reform, and he encourages readers to rethink fairness and justice through science and empathy. Thank you.